everybody, and welcome to my channel. So today I am sitting on an air mattress because I am sleeping in the living room. I just find postpartum it's much better to like sleep in the living room because I have complete control of the environment. I don't wake anybody up when the baby gets up in the middle of the night to eat or to change his diaper or anything like that, so it's just really nice. So that's what I do. I've been like working on my private practice and marketing and things like that. I have 2 referrals for career consultations, and I'm just surprised by that because I was spending a lot of time marketing. Well, I guess I spent a lot of time marketing the career consultations too, but I think a lot of my focus has been more on like, or at least my planning anyway, has been more on counseling because I just assumed that that would be what people would be calling me for most of the time. And to my surprise, people are actually contacting me for career consultations. So that's great, and obviously like I love doing that stuff. I'm passionate about it. When I think back to my journey, I'm like, yeah, it makes sense, I guess, that people would be contacting me for career consultations more than for counseling, because when I think back to my journey of looking for a career path, like I told you guys, I hired a career coach 2 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago now, when I was just like really like I was just where should I go, what should I do, and feeling like really defeated. And it was hard to find somebody. Like, first of all, it was hard to find somebody who was affordable. It was hard to find somebody who was available, because a lot of people had full, they weren't taking any new clients. It was hard to find somebody who specialized in what exactly I needed. My career coach provided resume writing, so she updated my resume. I had 2 different kinds of careers that I was interested in, and she updated both of them. Revamped my LinkedIn profile. I also had the career coaching sessions. They would apply to jobs on your behalf, like send those resumes that they just created for you out to employers. I decided not to use that because I was employed somewhere where I had a flexible schedule, etc. So I wasn't looking for a new job. I was more looking for career direction, like going forward. I think more than anything, more than any of that other stuff, people are really looking for somebody to talk to about their career direction. Like, they want qualitative feedback. They want qualitative data. They want, to talk it out with somebody more so than like giving you, a new resume or whatever. So I ended up with my career coach only because that was the one that offered the career consultations. That was really all I was looking for. I wasn't looking for the resume updates and all that other stuff. But she was specializes in resume and something with the technology that resumes go through to kind of weed out people, the AI technology. So she creates resumes that kind of bypass that technology. But the feedback that I got from my career consultation was to start my own business, because they said that I would make more money working for myself than working anywhere else. They still wrote resumes for me for the positions or roles that I had in mind or envisioned, but they were really focused all of your energy on what you need to do in order to, create your own business, because that's the way that you should go. And although it was helpful, because I am starting my own business now, it was not really what I was looking for. And so I think that people are contacting me now because it's people want to have a conversation. They want to get to where they're going on their own, but with help, if that makes sense. It's kind of like counseling. I'm not going to go out and directly tell you how to live your life. I'm going to help you get there on your own, to figure out the kind of life you want to live and what you need to do to get there. And that's kind of my approach with career consultations. It's what do you want and how can we get there together? Not so much this is what you should do, which is what my career coaching was on the receiving end. I guess it makes sense to me that people are contacting me about it. The reason that I added career consultations to my business was because people contact me throughout the year asking for help. They find me on LinkedIn, they find me on YouTube, and they, have questions or whatever. And so I'm well, maybe I should provide this as a service. And so that's what I started doing. And so yeah, people really need it. So now I'm going to really also focus on that. I wrote an ebook. I think I talked about this, or maybe I haven't yet, on my YouTube channel, but I wrote an ebook on, or workbook, not an ebook, but it is an electronic workbook on finding your career path. And basically it's just a bunch of exercises, prompts, writing prompts, and an assessment in there too, to help you think through what your values are, what you're interested interested in, the kind of life you want, the kind of salary you want, things like that. And then helps you kind of like narrow down to a few careers. And also by the end of the workbook, you'll have actionable steps that you've created, that you need to take going forward as you continue to explore your career options. But I think it's really great foundational work for anybody who's like really just confused. And usually people contact me because they are confused about, I don't know if I want to do this or if I want to do that. So this workbook is to help people kind of narrow it down, and also to just try to help you figure out what exactly about those things that you like in those 2 careers or 3 careers that you're interested in. What are the things that stick out to you? What are the qualities of those careers that attract you? Because maybe there's a completely different career that encompasses all those qualities that isn't actually those specific careers. I will put the link down in the description box for if you want to download that for free. So I wrote that, and then I'm also working on an ebook. This is not a workbook, but an ebook for working moms who are coming back from maternity leave. So because I found, it's very stressful. My first time around, I had 2 jobs, and I had a 6-week maternity leave and an 8-week maternity leave for the 2 jobs. And so I just remember being tired and a little stressed, burned out. I don't even think that if I'm being honest, I don't even think that I worked the hours that I was supposed to work because I was tired. If you're gonna make people come back after 6 weeks, expect that to happen. And I think that it also contributes. There's research that says that, that shows that women who come back to work earlier than 6 months usually have a harder time as far as mental and physical health than women who take a full 6 months off before going back to work. And the same for the babies. It actually is better for their mental and physical health if you are out of work for 6 months rather than and I think that that's also because there's a couple of factors for that. I mean, I can write, I can talk about why I think that is, but I don't really know. Research studies just tell you what's found. It doesn't tell you how come. But thinking about it, I'm like, well, I breastfeed, and I think that if I still breastfed my daughter. It was hard though, and I had a boss who I left both of those jobs and started a different job. And at my other job, the third one, my boss she was very weird about breastfeeding, about breast pumping at work. She was very weird about it. There was no designated place to pump either. Anyway, that's a whole thing. That's the job that I left and I was crying about in one of my videos. So glad to be done with that place. But anyway, there's so many problems with that place, and there were so many things that were done there that were complete HR violations and illegal things. It was just, anyway, I think back to that time and I'm it was hard on me emotionally. I remember dropping my daughter off for daycare because I tried daycare for a week, crying, me and her both. And then I decided, nope, she's not doing daycare. She's not ready. I'm not ready. And I pulled her out, and I'm glad I did because the doctors even said, that she was very advanced for her age. And so obviously everything that I was doing, and this is from the pediatrician herself, and the nurses, everything that I was doing at home was good. So why change it? And I was changing it because I had a boss who really did not like remote work and who really did not like working moms. Basically, it seemed like she gave every working mom, who came back from maternity leave a hard time. So it just contributed to more stress. But when you're dealing with a culture like that values the bottom line over the health of their workers and their families, it's very stressful. And so I made a guide, not a workbook, an ebook. I made an ebook basically that gives moms a coming out of postpartum, or still in postpartum and going back to work, tips on how to make that transition smooth for them and for the baby, and to take care of their physical and mental health as well while they're going through all of that. So I hope that's helpful for people. But I have not published it, I've not posted it on my website or anything yet. It's just something that I'm working on right now. It's almost finished. So yeah, so I have been working on things on the career consultation end of things, and stuff, but I was just very surprised. I thought the first calls that I would get would be counseling, and I thought I would get counseling calls more. And also I'm taken aback because I'm getting referrals sooner than when I planned on starting to see clients. So So I was like, oh, okay. So I'm like, I had to like, not scramble. I already had like the forms that I wanted for like informed consent and things like that. But like, I have to fine tune those now to make sure that they're up and ready for when I start working with these people, for their career consultations. But I was more focused on the counseling consent forms than the career consultation consent forms, because I really did, like I said, expect that I would have more counseling people sooner, rather than the career consultation people. But that just shows you like the demand for this like is so high, because like I said, it's hard to find somebody who's a career who will do career consultations or career coaching. It's hard to find somebody who specializes in more of a counseling approach to career consultations, rather than like, this is what you should do, based off of your experience. Somebody who's going to actually help you get there through conversation and deep dives into like your interests and your background and things like that. That's what I was looking for, and I think it's what a lot of people look for too. Because I haven't yet to have, before I started, my business, I mean, people would call me or email me about this stuff. I have yet to have somebody who like wanted, some kind of deliverable, like, so to speak, like resumes, this and that. They contact me because they want to talk it out, and talk it through. And they don't want somebody to just say, and just listen. They want somebody who's going to help them ask the right questions of themselves and come to the right conclusions about what to do next. And so that's what I hope to provide to people. Well, I'm just excited to be starting all this. But yeah, like I said, like, it's hard to find somebody who specializes in it, who's available and who's affordable. I believe my career coach cost me a couple $1,000s, and I had a job at the time. But I feel like a lot of people who don't have a job, or they do have a job, but they're probably not making very much money. And so I make my rates pretty affordable. $130 for a 50-minute, consultation, I think is very reasonable. Because a lot of people, they will just contact me one time. They don't really need ongoing support once after they have that first, conversation with me. So I think that that's more than, reasonable for people, especially considering the competing prices out there. But also, that was just something that I was very passionate about, because I feel like the people that need the career direction the most are the people that might not be able to afford $2,000 consultations, and they probably don't want all of these other deliverables. They probably just want somebody to talk things through with. And I offer a free deliverable. So when people contact me, I tell them about my free download, and tell them, to work through that book, because when we talk, when we do our consultation, we're going to be working through that. We're going to be looking at those results of that book and talking about it, because it is literally just a bunch of stuff that I would say and have said to anybody who contacts me asking for help. Actually, with that free download, you're getting even more than what I would, what I've done in the past, because that is just a bunch of things that I've done. Like, I might give people a piece of, so if you contact me 2 years ago asking for help, I might have had you do an exercise or give you a suggestion to do this or that exercise to help you out. But I wouldn't have told you all of these exercises. So you're getting a bunch of things. At a certain point when I was making this book, I was like, maybe I shouldn't give it away for free. Maybe I should charge for it, because it is a lot of information and it is a lot of help. It's kind of it's basically, in my opinion, everything you need to start really diving into your career journey. They should give these things out at high school. You know what I'm saying? There should be a course for, I don't know, what course did I take in high school? It was something, but we had to learn about mortgages and budgeting and writing checks and things like that. I don't remember what the name of the course was called, but they should also give you these types of things, because it would have been so helpful for me. And I think that, that's the age, the high school, college age, where you're really trying to figure it out. And I feel bad for people because they don't know at that age yet that you don't need to have it figured out. You just need to go do things that interest you, and then you'll be able to have enough experience behind you to know what you like and what you don't like. And I think that there's a lot of pressure on 18-year-olds to figure it out now, and you don't need to. But I also understand that if you're going to college, you're spending thousands of dollars on an education, and you want to make sure you're majoring in the right thing. So I get that too. So it's kind of like weird, and we know in the mental health field that your frontal cortex is not even developed until your mid-20s. So that's the part of the brain that helps you with decision making and planning. So obviously it's completely like, we can't force 18-year-olds to do something that they literally physiologically cannot do yet, as well as a 25-year-old person can. So like, no wonder people change their majors so many times. It's no wonder people get very stressed out and anxious about their careers and their future, and they don't know what they're going to do because they don't have the capacity to make those kind of decisions yet. But that's why I tell people, like, hey, do what's interesting to you that you can like make a living off of, because right now it's all about gaining experience and learning what you like and what you don't like. And it's completely fine if you change careers, if you change career paths. Everybody, I don't know not one person who has stayed in the same career their entire career journey. Like, I know people who have stayed for decades, but they at some point in their career journey changed course. I have yet to meet one person who have stayed in the same career their whole entire lives. I mean, maybe some people in healthcare, but even they might change jobs, or change departments or specialties. So I don't know. Older people, who are, have well-established careers or maybe successful careers, have contacted me too. And so there's also something to be said about your career journey really being a lifelong journey. As long as you're living and working, it is a journey, and it does not have a specific destination and endpoint. And that's something that I didn't even know when I was in my 20s. I assumed that whatever job or whatever that I found that was related to my career or my majors when I finished school would be where I stuck, and that was not the case at all. So that is basically my, where I'm at right now with my business. There's a lot more that I can share with you, but I think I'll just break everything up into segments, as I said before, so that it's easy to follow. As you watch me through this, journey of starting my private practice and everything like that. But anyways, if you want to continue watching my career journey and what it's like starting your private practice, or you're just interested in my content, make sure to like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, and make sure you check out my free download, okay? Because it's free. All right. Till next time, bye-bye.